And now Dr. Kobe Michael, a senior research fellow at the Institute for National Security Studies. Good morning to you. Let's talk. We've been speaking about how this is not a style of attack that we usually see. We haven't seen something like this since the early 2000s. Give us your insights on what you think is a possibility here.
Good morning. It looks like a very well organized attack. I assume that there is a high probability that Hamas is involved in this attack because they have infrastructures in East Jerusalem. But I think that we have to see the broader picture to understand that actually we are in a sort of an intifada. We are in a campaign terror since March 22. And we have to understand that there is a direct connection between the events today in Jerusalem, what happened yesterday in Nablus, in Josephton, and in Jenin. Okay, everything is well connected, and these are dimensions or these are articulations of the terror campaign. And I think that we have to rethink about our relevant response.
And I want to ask you how the security services within Israel could have not caught something like this. You are a research fellow for national security. How could something like this have slipped through the cracks? This is a joint coordinated attack at two separate sites. It would require a lot of planning, a lot of very specific detail. The attacks happening just moments apart. How was something like this not caught prior to the explosions?
Because on the one hand, there is never 100% of success. And on the other hand, we have 350,000 Palestinian Jerusalemites who have free access not only to Jerusalem, but to the entire state of Israel. They can move freely. And I would say that it is not so easy to control effectively 100% such a big population. Jerusalem is a mixed city, the biggest mixed city in Israel, with many Palestinians who identify themselves with the resistance ethos, with Hamas. And I think that it was just a question of time. I mean, the idea that such an event, such a terror event occurred just now in Jerusalem is an indication to the success of the Israeli intelligence and the Israeli security apparatuses. But as I said, there is not 100% success.
Let's bring back in Amir Oren, a defense and government commentator. Defense Minister Benny Gantz now having an assessment with the Shin Bet, Israel's internal security services, perhaps to talk about how something like this could have happened. Talk to us about perhaps the work and the planning that would go into a joint attack in two separate areas in a city like Jerusalem.
So the most important job right now for the investigators is forensic, to try and piece together from fragments of the explosive devices, whether they were improvised, whether they were of an industrial type, and if they were of the latter type, whether there are markings leading to the labs or the production facilities. Now, while this could be the preview of a new intifada, it could have been worse if, we don't know yet, if the perpetrator wanted to get on a bus and explode it while riding the bus in a closed vehicle. There would have been many people killed, many passengers. It will be only later, when everything is being debriefed, that we will find out whether this was the plan just to leave the bag at the bus stop, or whether, for some reason, the original plan was foiled. And this could be not the last time someone tries something like that. And actually, only 100 yards from that bus stop, bus number 18 exploded in February of 1996 with many casualties. So again, it's very, very easy to come into these places, either from Jerusalem or from the West Bank or even from Israel proper. And by the way, part of the damage done, in addition, of course, to the human suffering, is that route number 1 from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem at some point was closed. So the terrorists managed to disrupt daily lives in Israel in addition to the casualties that they cause.
You're still looking at live images now on your screen. The mayor of Jerusalem, Moshe Leon, now at the site at the bus station where the first explosion happened this morning. I want to bring